So had the nephews over yesterday. We put in a pretty big solid day, so I'll just give you a bit of a recap on where we got up to. So they did really good. We went through and did some roll cage design, so I'll show you that in a second. We went through and sort of looked at a few different roll cages in cars I got here at the shop, and they sussed out different ways of making them, and then we actually made little model ones, which was pretty fun. So I'll show you that in a sec, but I'll just give you a quick recap on where we got up onto the car. So these front panels were never being used, so we unstitched all the spot welds here with the spot weld drill there. So special drill bit for drilling out spot welds. So we did all them and hammered these off with a bit of force for some of them. So yeah, they got both of those off, which is good. Then we also got a really rough seating position. I just slapped the seat in and sort of had a bit of a look at where I'm going to be sitting. So then we can start to look at roll cage main hoop positions. So that's kind of important. Have to get the seat in first, because if you have if you have your roll bar too forward, then your seating positions can never be set back far enough. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, but I reckon one of my nephews is going to end up being taller than me eventually. So I sort of want to keep that in mind with seating position. But my current position in other cars is a bit more forward to this, but I always feel like I'm maybe a bit too forward, so I want to try and sit back, and then also in mind to have someone a little bit taller still be able to drive the car. So that should give us a good compromise for where the main hoop needs to go. Also cut out the floor to make way for 4-link rear end, so we're going to put a 4-link in it. Like I said, these vans are normally leaf sprung rear end. I wasn't really interested in running leaf springs, so we will fabricate a 4-link. And then over in the corner there, I'll go around actually, we started making a template to do the platforms that the main hoop will sit on. So like I keep telling the nephews, if you can't make it out of cardboard, you can't make it out of steel. So we finished with this yesterday. So just basically just cutting out little templates and just trimming and going until you're happy that everything fits fairly well. So that's made now. I'm just going to double check that I can mirror it for the other side, and if we can, I'll whip them out of a bit of metal. So yeah, it's a pretty solid day really. The lads wanted to keep working, they didn't want to go home, just wanted to keep working, which is good. So we got a fair bit done. Yeah. So we spent about an hour and a half trying to visualise a roll cage. We also had the paperwork out from CAMS, Schedule J, on everything that's required for CAMS. So if ever we did want to get the car logbooked, we're applying all the rules. So the boys had a bit of a look through here, and we started to visualise and try to understand what's involved in making a roll cage. They did some sketches, we looked at some other cars, and then I gave them some TIG wire and some blue tack, and we started making our own little models using different ideas that we'd seen. So most of the boys wanted to keep them and take them home. They were pretty proud of what they did, but they did really good. To be honest, they had a look at different ideas, and I let them build the cage that they wanted to build, and they used all the different ideas that we'd seen from different cars and from the Schedule J, and they made some pretty tough little things. So this is the one that I did. So this is basically going to be the cage that I'm going to build for the car. Pretty straightforward. And then provision back here so this is my imaginary diff. I'm going to somehow try and tie 4 links into the cage. Not really done that, so that should be a bit of fun. Looking forward to that. So yeah, just a bit of forward planning and visualization of what we want to do on the car itself. So yeah, just a bit of a recap. We'll get stuck into making those main hoop platforms. So I actually use some 5mm steel. Schedule J only calls for 3mm as a minimum, but I prefer to use 5. Just like a nice solid platform with a lot of weld on it. I think where you mount your roll cage is really important, and how you do it. I've seen some pretty scary photos of ones that just punch straight through the floor because that part wasn't done quite right. So, you know, wise man builds his house on the rock, not on the sand. So, like a solid foundation. So let's get stuck into that. Sort of want to show you as well the positioning of this foundation that we're going to build from. We were fairly lucky with where my seat position was. The main hoop's going to land in this position here, and what this allows me to do is instead of having a flat piece of bar like that straight onto some really thin sheet, I mean this stuff's, that's double layer there, it's only 1.5 at max, you know. Instead of just having that straight on flat sheet, I'm actually able to utilize this strength in the body here, and I've got a nice flat platform to work from up here, which is far stronger if in the case of a rollover you've got a sudden impact down this way. You've got a lot of strength in this sheet metal form here rather than just a flat plate on a floor, you know. So we're able to sit this up on top here, and I gain a lot of strength just from these ridges. So it worked out well where my main hoop wants to be, that I've got that to play with. Not every car is going to be the same, but yeah, this one's worked out well, and I'm actually quite happy with that as a foundation for the cage.